So let's welcome Mr. Anil Grandi. Welcome, Anil, to our show.
Thank you. Thanks, Varish bhai.
Yep. Let's discuss about home office deduction today. Very interesting topic for all of us.
Sure, Varish. Let's start with wishes. Two festivals are here around the corner, Gudi Padwa and Ugadi. So my best wishes to all the viewers on Gudi Padwa and Ugadi. Let's get into the topic.
Wonderful. Thanks, everyone. Yeah. Important question is like, what is home office deduction and who are eligible to claim it?
Sure. This is a very frequent question I get from my clients many times. Many people are still not aware of this, but the basic funda rule here is small business owners and entrepreneurs who work from home can save big money in taxes if they can claim home office expenses, as long as they meet IRS requirements and keeping the good records. So as long as you are using your home exclusively and regularly for the business related activities, IRS will let you write off those any expenses which are pertains to home expenses, like maybe a rent or utilities or real estate taxes, repairs, maintenance, and any other related expenses. If you're incurring some expenses for your home, some part of those expenses can be claimed as home office expenses as long as you are meeting in compliance with IRS requirements.
Nice. A good start of this topic. So let's move forward with that. Can employees also claim home office deductions?
It's a very good question, and many of the viewers might be also very curious about this, because for the last 2 years, most of us, or every one of us, worked from home, whether they are working on W-2 employment or a business owner. So we work from home only for the last 2 years. So everyone is very curious, can we claim home office expenses on the tax returns? But the answer is, if you are in a W-2 employment, you are not eligible to claim home office expenses since 2018 onwards. So before 2018, that is before Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which was introduced effective from 2018. Before that, yes, IRS was allowing home office expenses for the W-2 employees also. But now, from 2018 onwards, completely they removed it. And there are in couple of cases, only in a couple of cases, you can still claim home office expenses even you are on W-2, but there are some different conditions out there. If your employer allows you to get the reimbursement, through reimbursement, you can get the expenses. You won't be allowed to claim these expenses directly in the tax return, but the best way to claim home office expenses when you are on W-2 is go and talk to your employer and ask for accountable plan reimbursements. IRS allows that. Yeah, if they have an accountable plan in place in the company, they can allow home office expense reimbursements from the company level. So as an employee, you get the reimbursement from your company, but it is not tax deductible, but you can get a reimbursement. And also there are a few specific type of W-2 employees can directly claim home office expenses in their tax return. Yes.
Okay. So who are those employees?
Yes. So IRS has listed down some set of W-2 employees can claim home office expenses, like armed forces, jurisdictions, or certain performing artists, or state or local government officials who are paid on fee basis, or people with physical or mental disabilities, and also teachers can still claim home office expenses even though they are on W-2, but they need to meet 2 criteria to claim these expenses.
Okay, so what are these criteria?
Yes. So the first criteria is the entire home office expenses, whatever they want to claim, that should be more than 2% of their adjusted gross income. For if they're filing a married filing jointly, it's together, what is the adjusted gross income? And 2% of the adjusted gross income. It should exceed that, number one. And number two is they need to file itemized tax return. We discussed earlier in our earlier shows the difference between itemized tax return and standard tax return. If the employee is filing tax return as itemized tax return and their expenses are more than 2% of their expense of their income, then yes, they can claim. Then W2 employees also can claim, but only those criteria which I explained, not everyone.
Okay. What is the basis to qualify for home office deduction?
Yes. So in the beginning of the session, our show, I started saying that as long as you are using your home exclusively and regularly, it is not your full home, a space, a dedicated space in your house has to be used exclusively and regularly for the purpose of business. And it should be the principal place of the business. So it should be, I mean, when I say that I'm using it for the business, there are different criteria. IRS will look into that. Are you using this house as a primary place of your business? Are you meeting your customers at that place as a dedicated place in your house? Are you using it? And also, you should use this house in connection with your house, in connection with your business. If your office space is in a separate structure, not attached to your dwelling. So if you meet these three conditions, and as long as exclusive and regularly if you use, come on, you can claim your home office expenses.
Okay, yes, good information. So what is the principal place of business?
Yes. So a principal, as per IRS, a principal place of business can be either where the cash register rings. It means where you sit and collect the money, or you are operating your administrative activities or management activities from that fixed location, and where you conduct your substantial activities. Like you, like example, you may have a different office, a physical office somewhere, but if you are managing your bookkeeping or administrative activities or management activities from your home, then you should consider claiming your home office expenses.
Limited by homeowners only and only particular type of homes?
Okay. No. If you are paying rent, still you can claim it as a home office expenses. If you are owning a house, yes, still you can claim as a home office expenses. The thing is, when you are using a dedicated space, the dedicated space can be a part of a single home, an apartment, a condo, or including a houseboat also. And considering the space, you can use even a studio at your home, or you can even use garage at your home for exclusive and regular usage of business purpose.
Okay, nice. So please elaborate on the term regular and exclusive use.
Sure, Varesh. The space in the house that is being used for the business must be used exclusively for conducting the business. I want to give an example here. If you are using a spare bedroom as your office and also as a playroom for your kids, then it is not allowed because you are not using it exclusively. So the rules are very particular. If at all, if a file gets picked for an audit, IRS is very particular. You need to prove that you are using the house only for the business purpose.
So honestly, what are they?
Yes, Varish. So as I was saying, only there are a couple of exceptions are there how you can claim home office expenses, even though you are not using exclusively for the business purpose. An example, daycare. So if you are running a daycare at your home, daycare can be for the children or maybe for adults who has more than 65 years of age or handicapped individuals. If you're running such a daycare, if you might be using majority of your house for these kids, for the activities, in that circumstances, you don't have to go for exclusivity. It means you may use that space even for some other home purpose also. This is an exception given by IRS for the daycare businesses, but they should have all required certifications, licenses, and approvals to run these daycare businesses. So in those circumstances, yes, you can have You can skip on exclusivity.
So that's a nice information analogy. So the next one is like, what is meant by principal place of business? Let's say doctor usually practice at hospital, but they also work from home. So what will be the principal place of business for them?
Yes, it's a very good question, Varish. So, principal place means, as per the IRS, you are using the space exclusively and regularly for administrative or management activities.
Mhm.
So, such as billing your customers, setting up the appointments, or keeping the books of records, maybe some managing some secretarial records, managing your secretarial records at your home. So, these are they all come under administrative activities.
So Anilji, how is home office deduction determined?
Yes, sure, Varish. I will explain. So, till now, we discussed about who are eligible to claim home office deductions. So, like business owners, if they are working from home, yes, they are eligible to claim home office expenses. If you are in a W 2, no, you are not authorized, but there are some exceptions are there. Now, we know how who are eligible. Now, I will explain how much they can claim this deduction. The IRS has listed down two methods, simplified method and actual expense method. And the simplified method, a taxpayer can claim up to $5 per square feet in their home they are using for home office, to the extent of maximum of 300 square feet. And coming to the actual expenses, a taxpayer can claim it's some fixed percentage of their total expenses in the home, such as mortgage payments, interest payments, or rent, or maintenance, repairs, insurance, utilities, depreciation, and any other home related expenses which they are incurring in that year. So list down all your expenses, take some fixed percentage. It can be 5%, 10%, 15%, based on how many square feet you are using for your office purpose out of the total house square feet. So whatever the number you come with the percentage, that percentage you can claim it as expenses in your tax deduction.
So which method is preferable or works best for the most people?
Okay. If it's simplified is a very simple. So it's a very straightforward. And if you think that your total expenses are very less minimal, if you're using very less space in your house for your home office, then we recommend you to go for simplified. But if you are using bigger space in your house for your home office, then we recommend you to go for actual. But however, I recommend you to list down both scenarios, find out what makes more sense for you, because from person to person, it completely changes.
Right. Makes sense. Like it's a good information. So while using actual expense method, you mentioned depreciation. So what is depreciation here?
Yes. Yes, Varish. If you use the actual expense method, you are required to depreciate the value of your house. What is the depreciation? Depreciation is an income tax deduction that lets taxpayers to recover the cost of the property due to wear and tear or obsolescence of the property according to the IRS. It means based on the lifetime of the property, you find out how much depreciation you can claim for your house. In the total depreciation, a small fixed percentage, as we discussed in our previous question, fixed percentage, whatever 5%, 7%, 10%, whatever the number you're getting it, that expense, that percentage of your total depreciation can be claimed as home office expense.
So how is it calculated for home office?
Okay. So as per IRS, when you convert your personal use property to the business use, the value that must be assigned to the property for the depreciation purpose must be lesser than the adjusted value of the property or fair market value. It means, so when you do the depreciation calculation, you need to have the value of the property. So what is the value of the property? What is the lifetime of the property? Based on that, you calculate it. But IRS says that whenever you take the value of the property, it should be always less than fair market value or adjusted value of the property.
Nice. So what is the adjusted value of the property here?
So the adjusted basis of the property is what you originally paid for your property on the date of purchase plus any renovations you made that increase the value of the house. I might have bought a house some 20 years back, but after that I might have invested some money for the improvements, so or renovations. I add all those expenses together. I find out what is the value of the property. Based on that, I do the calculation for the depreciations.
So, Anuji, what is FMV?
Okay, so as I said, you can use either adjusted value or fair market value. FMB is nothing but fair market value. It is an arm's length transaction, arm's length value. What IRS says, it means when two people who are not related, whatever the price they want to sell, considering the market price, that is what the fair market price.
So how can home office deduction be claimed by partnerships?
Yes. If you are operating your business as a partnership, you have two ways to claim your home office expenses. The first one is you can, whenever you get a K1 from your tax return of the partnership, you can claim unreimbursed partner expense. It's called UPE expenses in your individual tax return against your K1. Or you can get the reimbursement for your home office expenses in your partnership business through accountable plan. So there is a plan which we need to design, write down on what circumstances, what expenses are allowed. Those expenses can be reimbursed in the business. You can get the reimbursement from the business.
Sure. So Anilji, what about S corps?
Yes. So the S corp can pay you the rent for your home office, or the best option is S corp can reimburse you your expenses. Like whenever, like example, I'm an individual, I have an S corporation. So what I do is for my home offices, I list down what are the total expenses I claim, what are the expenses I'm authorized. I list down and I get the reimbursement from the S corporation from my business. Rather than I am directly claiming on my individual tax return, I prefer to claim this expense from my business. So that's how it works for S corporation. It's only reimbursement of expenses.
While deducting actual expenses, what are the things that must be addressed?
Very good question, Marish. A very detailed records are required when you claim these expenses. The detail means because you are saying that, hey, these are all my list of expenses. I want to claim some percentage. So like example, utilities bills, electricity bills, or mortgage payments, interest payments, all those the supporting documentation you should have. So whenever an audit comes up, whenever an IRS sends a notice to you to show that, to prove that, hey, come on, prove me, then you need to give all the supporting documentation you need to share with an IRS. So you need to maintain all detailed list of expenses with the supporting documentation.
Wonderful. So let's wrap up this session. So what are the key takeaways from this session? So please give the highlights of that.
Sure, Varish. Small business owners and entrepreneurs who work from home can save thousands of dollars through this tax saving strategy. So, and historically, many people might have been hearing that if you claim home office expenses, it would be IRS red flag. It is not red flag. Couple of decades back, yes, it may be, I don't know, IRS might be sending some notices, but right now, IRS understands that every one of us work from home. And during the pandemic time, now working from home has become a common. I mean, it has become a regular. So everyone work from home now. So I don't see any issues from the IRS, and it is not a red flag from the IRS because IRS has listed down all the terms and conditions to claim these expenses in detail. So IRS is allowing it. That is why it is giving all the details to claim these expenses. So yep, we are good to claim expenses as long as you have proper supporting documentation. Working with the right tax professional is very, very important. So find a guy who can help you on guiding you appropriately so that you can save all these money in taxes. Thank you, Varish.
Yep. Thanks, Anilji, for sitting with us and giving very valuable feedback to our viewers. And thanks a lot for coming here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks to Mana TV and to the Varish for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Anilji. So friends, we have come to the end of this impactful episode. We will be meeting again next week with our expert Anil Grandi for another topic. So till then, stay tuned. Bye for now. Take care. Bye.